Morning. What did I come over here to look for? I don't remember. Oh, oil. I'm gonna use shortening. All right. Good morning. How much is in this? Good morning. If you're watching, say hey. I'd love to see you this morning. I need some water. I need a little sippy sip. Hello, hello. If you watch and say hey, so I know you're there, so I'm not awkwardly talking to myself, because that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Hey, Amber. Hey, Faith. I know, right? My coffee shirt. It's irony this morning since I'm not drinking coffee. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Mallory. So, oh my. Good. I'm glad you found the podcast. I can't get it on Spotify. I can't figure it out. She's over my head, but it's on Podbean. It's on Apple Podcasts. And then it's on my website, but you can't get to it from my website. So sorry, I can't figure out how to get it to show. And it's on YouTube Live as well. So you can watch it on YouTube as well. So you all know that I have been cutting out dairy and gluten. And if you saw my post last night, you saw the drastic difference in my skin right here. Big difference. It's still a little dry, but big difference in my skin after just 1 week of having no dairy, gluten, or eggs. Well, last week I did a ton of research on Candida because I tested positive for systemic Candida and had taken some prescription medications that really didn't do anything, and almost, I think, set me on a course for more difficult Candida, more powerful Candida on my skin, and my gut health has not been that great. I took 5 rounds of antibiotics the year COVID started, and I think I had COVID, but it was right before COVID really became like known and a thing. So anyway, I say all that to say I have spent a lot of time researching how to get rid of my Candida, and it's not as simple as just implementing fermented foods for me because I have such a powerful case of it happening. And as a matter of fact, fermented foods are actually not good for me because my Candida is strong enough that it will eat fermented foods as fuel. What? I don't have it. I'm not seeing it on here. There's no admin that can do that, Mallory. It's just me, but I'm not seeing it. Where is it? It's not showing on my screen. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me take care of things. I'm not. Oh. I'll take care of that. Okay. So anyway, I say all that to say I have purchased a protocol that I have done a ton of research on, and eventually I will share with all of you exactly what it's called if it's successful. I don't want to share this protocol that I purchased with you and then find out it really didn't help me. And then have a whole bunch of people be looking at this protocol when it didn't work. So this protocol is from a company that I dug and researched. It's one you've probably never ever heard of. And the protocol is a 3-month protocol where I'm going to take some supplements morning, noon, and night. The first month, it breaks down the biofilm around bad gut bacteria and helps get rid of it. And then the second month, it continues to kill it and then starts implementing good bacteria. And that's where I can begin to implement fermented foods some. And then the third month is when you really build up your good bacteria through a healthy probiotic. Apparently, the situation that I'm in right now, a probiotic is actually a bad idea because it's fuel for my bacteria, because my bacteria is angry. It's angry. So I have a list of foods now recommended for the next 3 months that I should be eating and shouldn't be eating. So yay, I will not be eating pork or beef for the next 3 months. I will be eating tempeh and tofu and not all the time, but I'll be eating fish and chicken, turkey, duck, organ meats. No, thank you. I won't be. Thanks for offering, but no thanks. I won't be eating organ meats. I can eat wild game. I can eat my nut milk. I have a list of fruits I can eat. If it's not on this list, I'm not supposed to eat it. I have a list of veggies I can eat. And ironically, there are some things, yes, pretty much. I'm a walking pile of bacteria. Bonnie clap. There are some vegetables that they even want me cutting out that I was like, what? Cauliflower. Things that can promote bacteria growth. Cauliflower for the average Joe is super good for you and healthy and has all these benefits. Well, KJ apparently is not the average Joe. So there are some things like that I need to be cutting out completely. I will be having a fair amount of crossovers just to be able to find food that I can eat. So I think it's going to be amazing. My life is going to change in the next 3 months. I can feel it in my gut. So this morning, I'm going to make a sweet potato bowl that has stuff that I can eat on it. And I may be occasionally looking over here and saying, can I eat that? Can I eat that? Can I eat that? Because I don't know. Everything I look at. So coffee is not on the list. And I was like, what? Why? It's because it says if it's not on the list, I shouldn't eat it. And I'm like, what do you mean coffee's not on the list? What? No coffee? I did learn that I can have the dandelion stuff and dark chocolate. So I'm going to order some Creo Brew. And the other thing I found was that I can have coffee 1 cup a day before noon as long as it's black. But this is all temporary. Just to be clear, all of this is only in order for me to clean out my gut, kill all this bad bacteria that is wreaking havoc with me and likely causing my stall. I know I've tested positive for the Candida stuff, but it is affecting my joints. It is affecting my knees, my legs. When I go to get up off the couch, I'm like this. And it's impacting my whole body. I can't have mushrooms either. Amber, one of my favorite vegetables. It is seriously impacting me. And I was just going to cut out dairy and everything, but then all of these effects that I have from mostly just so everybody doesn't think I'm walking around how do you say this delicately? I am not a walking yeast infection. I'm just going to say it. What I do experience is issues here with the ladies, issues in my joints, and issues on my face. I can't believe I'm telling y'all about these things live. There are some gut health issues that you can imagine when you use the restroom. This is getting so deep. I know I'm an open book, but this book may need to be a little less open. Sorry, Lou. Years and years and years of antibiotics and steroids for me when I would be so sick from, I would catch a cold and I would be unbelievably sick. I would take antibiotic after antibiotic. The January of 2020, I started antibiotics and I did I can't remember if it was 4 or 5 rounds of antibiotics. And it has caused some major impacts to my life. And nothing that a probiotic pill or a drink every day is going to fix. So I decided I can suck it up, I can do the hard, and I can cut out a ton of stuff from my diet for the temporary. It will only take 3 months of these pills to really see a big difference, supposedly, these supplements and removing things from my diet, and then I can slowly add these things back in. I'm going to miss pork and beef. It's summer. I live on hot dogs. There better be some chicken hot dogs out there. All right, enough of that yammering. I've been talking a long time. But I will tell you this. Since it didn't help me. 60 days of it, Karen. 60 days of it did nothing. But I was still eating dairy and all this thing because my doctor said nothing about actual Candida diet. So this is very Trim Healthy Mama compliant, super duper Trim Healthy Mama compliant. Everything on here except for maybe the cassava flour and the rice syrup. There's 2 or 3 things on here that are not really. Yes, I can have turkey. There's a couple of things on here that are not THME, like gluten-free pasta, rice, vermicelli. That type of stuff is not typically Trim Healthy Mama. Maple syrup, rice syrup. I can have stevia. It doesn't say erythritol, but I'm not going that road. I'm not taking stevia off, or my sweeteners off the table. It's too much. I just don't know how I'll function. But I can still have baking blend. I can still have, there's still a lot that I can have. So we'll see. So I'm going to make a sweet potato bowl and see how she goes. If you're watching live, I would love if you would share this video. Yes, Bonnie, most regular doctors have not even heard of it. There's not a lot of good testing for Candida, and it is a serious issue. It's a serious issue. So, all right, I'm going to use shortening as my fat because palm oil is good for me. And this is palm oil, and it's going to cook delightful. Yep, just talking about my guts, Nikki. Just talking about KJ's guts. Oh, shoot. I wanted to cook down my greens first. All right, these are what I have for greens. These are a delightful blend of seasonal greens. My mother gave them to me because she said they're gross. So I thought, well, that sounds like it's probably on my list of foods I need to eat then. Just washed. Guess I need to wash it. Yeah, Mom said, I don't like that stuff. You can have it. Oh, thanks, Mom. I'll take your crappy food that you don't like. What, turkey hot dogs? That's what you get, Bonnie? Well, I live off hot dogs in the summer. Hot dogs are my jam. All summer long. All right, I'm going to saute up these gross greens. My gross wet greens that are hitting that oil and splattering. Woo! Hello, calm down. You go ahead and eat that kale. I'm probably going to be having a fair amount of crossovers on this diet. I don't want to call it a diet. On this protocol, I will probably be having a fair amount of crossovers because, watch out, Bess, you're going to get burned. Because a lot of these foods are so limited that in order to make them edible, I will likely be having a fair amount of crossovers. But they're going to be crossovers that are clean. You know what I mean? It's one I found online, Nikki. Oh, it's splattering hard. It's not one that I'm going to share yet. I will, if the protocol does well and helps me, then I will share with folks. I really don't want to promote it and then have it not be good. But it's 6 pills a day. This is a sweet potato that's already been cooked and has been sitting in my fridge wondering why I abandoned it. I cooked it and then put it in the fridge and it was like, what the heck? Why did you cook me? And this protocol will be finished just about the time we're on the retreat. I'll be like a week away from finishing. So during the retreat, I will be hopefully back to feeling good. That's my goal. As long, sweet potato hair. Mallory, as long as they are 2 grams of carbs or less, they're on plan. That's all you got to worry about, is that they're 2 grams of carbs or less. Oh, here's the other thing I can't do. Well, I won't say that I can't do. Here's the other thing that I won't be eating over the next 3 months. Onions and garlic. Onions and garlic. You heard me. I ain't happy about it, but I'll be all right. I won't die. This protocol is just going to help me reset and get healthy. And that's what I want, right? So if I want to get healthy, I got to put in the effort. It's not going to happen without a little bit of work. And that's okay. All right. There's some sweet potato in there. Some greens. And I put some lean turkey. This is poultry seasoning, so sage, thyme, and rosemary. You can't, oh, because you're doing low FODMAP, Bonnie, right? Yeah, this is just an opportunity, you guys. This isn't me having something I'm going to struggle with. This is an opportunity to find new recipes. This is an opportunity to learn what my body can handle and what it can't. A little bit of apple. It's just an opportunity. Come over here. Don't jump. Chew that up. Don't swallow it whole. I don't want to do Heimlich on a golden retriever today. Not in the mood. What did I do? Turn the heat down too far? All right. You're going to bump your head on that drawer again. Stressing me out. Feeding the dog some apples. That's awesome, Mallory. Her husband bought her a sundress because of how hard she's worked. That's awesome. Right, maybe tomorrow, Bonnie, but I don't want to deal with that today. Not in the mood. That's because you don't like veggies? Lorraine? Nikki, it's not while it is anti-inflammatory, it's not anti-inflammatory. It's not, I'm not following it for anti-inflammatory purposes. I'm following it to help murder the bad bacteria overgrowth that is going on inside my body. I'm cutting all of that, the stuff that can help promote. So, like coffee, for example, coffee can slightly lower your immune system, not a ton, but just a little bit. And then, say, another food and another food, and they all can just lightly lower your immune system. And that means that Candida doesn't have as much of a fighting chance. So, the whole point of this is to give the supplements the biggest ability to fight the Candida and give the Candida the smallest possible fighting chance. So not to give it anything that can possibly fuel it, just take everything out that the Candida might like. Apples are not on the list of foods I can eat. Okay, so this is my last apple. I'm making this beautiful compliant breakfast and just realized I'm not supposed to eat apples. Okay, well, this one won't kill me. I haven't got the supplements yet. They'll be here at the end of today, and then I will not eat apples. Oh, my word. See? I told you it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a learning curve for all of us. I thought apples were on the list. I can't, Kathy. I can't take a good probiotic yet. That's part of the issue is that when you get systemic Candida, a probiotic can actually make Candida worse. It can fuel it. So I'm doing a protocol to kill all the Candida and then we'll implement the good probiotics. It's interesting. I've learned a lot through this. No apples, people. No apples. I should taste this, make sure it's got enough seasoning. It does not have enough seasoning. Kind of, Nikki, yes. It is yeast. It is yeast overgrowth. But when we think of a yeast infection, we all think of, that is not what I'm experiencing. This is yeast overgrowth badly under the ladies. This is my rash on my face. It is severe joint pain. Like, I can't describe to people just how difficult I have, how much pain I have in my joints, and how difficult it is for me to get out of bed in the morning when I hurt all over. And I have been treated a million different ways by a million different doctors for a million different things. And it wasn't until I had testing that I knew for sure I had a pretty raging case of Candida. And so that is what I'm working on. That is my goal. All right, there we go. Perfectly. This would be considered an AIP protocol dish. with all good things. Sweet potato breakfast bowl. Don't know what makes it breakfast. Really nothing, but I think it's going to be good. This is going to be very different for me. This is going to really stretch my ability to cook, and it's going to be a lot of learning for me. It's good. It's hot, but it's good. Here we go. All right. Thank you for joining me this morning. If you'd like to watch the podcast, it is up on Podbean. It is on YouTube, so you can actually watch the podcast, and you can watch the utter panic in Bonnie Clapp's eyes when the camera goes live. It's the best part of that whole podcast when the camera goes live and Bonnie is like, oh my word. So go check it out. It's on, like I said, YouTube. It will be on Spotify eventually if I can figure it out. If you are a podcast specialist, let me know, because I don't know what to do. I'm struggling to get it to work. That's just me. I love you, Bonnie. I love you. It's just funny. It's funny, Bonnie. But then she slowly melts into it. She's like, all right, I got this. And she's awesome. Bonnie Clapp is awesome. But when it first comes on, she's like, you can see the fear. And so there's fear in my eyes there too, you guys. I'm just teasing you, Bonnie. It's a total comfort zone thing for both of us. I may come on here and talk every morning, but when you put me on a microphone and tell me to talk about something, I'm like, but the next 2 episodes are even better. We get into a rhythm and we rock it. And Bonnie and I have so much fun. So it's going to be great. I love you all. Thanks for joining me this morning. I will see you all tomorrow morning for devotions and hopefully breakfast. And hopefully you'll enjoy the podcast. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.